What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to 10 Count Wrestling. It's Cowboy shit day. Hangman Page has won the AEW World Championship. It's November 17th, 2021. Let's talk AEW. Tamara, how'd you feel about Dynamite?
Happy Cowboy Shit Day. I just want to say that. I think that this was probably the best Dynamite in a long time, not only because it was Cowboy Shit Day, but also because I really loved the main event. If we think about the show, I feel like people like to, say that there's not a lot of story in AEW, but even the main event they added a little story to, which we'll get to in a little bit. The culmination of Hangman finally winning, him coming out with Dark Order, his new friends, fuck the Elite. He's got new friends. He says that they're his best friends that he could ask for. The crowd is chanting, "You deserve it." He's like, "No, I don't deserve it. I earned it." Which I liked that line because in real life you don't necessarily deserve anything. You get what you earn. And so Hangman's like, even if I didn't deserve it, I earn it. Which actually goes to a point MJF said later in his promo. Whether you like him or not, he deserves the AEW title, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I thought they did like a pretty good job with storylines tonight in AEW. It felt very
Yeah.
much more like a storyline show rather than a match show. They like to vary those from time to time. And I thought this was a very good Dynamite. Before we started, you told me that you thought this was one of the better Dynamites in a while. I don't necessarily agree with that just based off of what I like wrestling wise. I like match quality. And besides the main event and the opener, and even the opener, I thought was like, it was
I was
fine.
about to say that the opener
But
was
like
mid.
for me though, like nothing stood out as like great wrestling besides the main event. Everything else just
Mhm.
like felt like okay, this is like maybe it's because Dynamite's accustomed us to like expecting really good matches, and Full Gear had some
Sure.
absolute bangers. Like that might just be why, and I'm like just a little wrestled out.
Uh,
I've
the
watched a
Leo
lot of
Rush
wrestling.
and Dante Martin match was my favorite match, actually. Maybe apart
Uh,
from the main event.
that was the one match that I was kind of a little zoned out because I was doing some other stuff.
Oh,
So
fair. And that match
I will
was fast
Yeah,
paced. Like
I will
you
go
had to
back
be
and I
watching.
do want to watch that again tomorrow. I want to watch Sheeta and Nyla just one more time because I was a little zoned out during that too.
Hmm.
But I mean, let's talk about let's go segment by segment as we always do. First off, we had Cowboy Shit Day as Kenny, or sorry, not Kenny Omega. Oh, actually, we did start out with Kenny Omega. Yeah, we had the Kenny Omega little vignette before they started out in the ring with the Dark Order. Kenny says he's going away for a little bit. He's got that shoulder injury that's been reported on for a few months now, and it's time for him to go get it looked at and get healed up. And they kind of teased Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega when he comes back. How do you feel about that?
I am super excited about that, mainly because I'm just excited for Adam Cole to turn on the Elite and be a face.
Yeah, I am very excited for Adam Cole and splitting. I do think they're going to do Adam Cole and the Young Bucks splitting, and I don't know what the hell Kenny is going to do, but I still like I have that belief of Mount Rushmore with Kevin Steen happening once Kevin comes
Yeah.
in February.
I forgot. That's kind of a dark horse. It's kind of an X factor. What happens when Steen comes in, and how
Yeah,
that changes the dynamics.
yeah. If I'm a betting man, I sent this in a text to somebody earlier, so I have proof of this. I would do Adam Cole versus Hangman Adam Page at Revolution. And then I would have Kenny return a little bit after that if he's ready to come back at that time and do Kenny versus Adam Cole at Double or Nothing. And I think that's also where they do Hangman and MJF and get that belt on MJF.
So you would be turning Cole after he beats Hangman,
I would
because
have
he
Cole
would
lose
be a
to no
heel.
Cole. I have Cole loses at Revolution to Hangman.
Oh, okay. Copy, copy, copy.
Yeah. I think Hangman drops it to MJF at Double or Nothing. If I'm
Hmm.
a bending man, I
Or
think he
if
drops it to
they
MJF.
if they have MJF beat him, I say Malachi Black beats Hangman. I see Hangman losing to like a really dominant like big guy, like Miro or
See,
Malachi.
This is a good topic to put on the 10 count. So we're going to save this for next week when we do the 10 count. I want to
Nice.
save this conversation because I do want to have this again in a longer form. But let's go back to Dynamite. We had the Dark Order in the ring, Cowboy Shiznit Day, as Jim Ross says. And we get this. I mean, you already talked about the promo from Adam Page, where he's like, I don't come in here a lot and flap my gums, which is funny because Bryan Danielson said that that's all Hangman does is flap his gums. Like about 5 minutes later, I was like, okay, that's a little inconsistent, but you know what? Fine. And we got a really good promo battle between Bryan Danielson and Hangman Page. It looks like they're turning Bryan heel for this feud. I was curious to see if they were going to do it, and he came out of the face tunnel, but they did wait. Like they waited a little bit, and they didn't like immediately pan to the face tunnel like they do with Bryan. Usually, whenever Bryan comes out, they have the camera always on the face tunnel. This time they had it right down the middle and waited an extra like probably 5 or 6 more seconds than usual for him to come out. So I think it's a little bit of a tease that like Bryan is going to be a heel in this feud. But we got a really solid promo between the two. I loved everything about this segment. And then we went right into that Evil Uno match, which was a pretty solid match. And I'm really excited to see where this goes with Danielson and the Dark Order as he's going to kick all of their heads in.
Yeah. I know you said part of that was inconsistent. I could see that. Brian was out there having fun, man. He couldn't even stop corpsing because he was like, he felt like he was so happy to just be playing heel. Even though Danielson, the way he acted in the ring is not too much far away from the way he is in real life from when we get to see
Mm-hmm.
him. He acted similarly when he had his feud with Eddie Kingston, and he kind of played heel against Eddie Kingston. They aired a promo with him during the Road to the Top show, and he pretty much told Eddie Kingston he doesn't work outside the ring. He's fat. That was code for he's fat. And maybe if you worked harder, you would be a world champion, and you're not because you don't work hard. And CM Punk alluded to it too. He's like, I didn't just judge you. Danielson judged you. Like Daniel Bryan seems like he's the kind of guy that will just say how he feels, and he thinks highly of himself, and
Mm-hmm.
he thinks that not only will he beat Hangman, he doesn't think that Hangman really. He said, "I'm surprised that you won." He didn't think Hangman was gonna beat Kenny. So this feud is starting well. You have to have Danielson work the heel because
Mm-hmm.
Hangman can't work heel. Like, not that he can't do it, but I mean, you're not gonna have the crowd boo him.
Yeah, especially when you're in Norfolk, that's how you knew. And
Yeah.
forget that you're in Norfolk. This shows how over Hangman Adam Page is. He was able to get the crowd to boo Bryan Danielson without Danielson, like, even like he was being a little heely, but like faces do shit
They
like that
booed
all
him
the time.
from the start. When
I
he
know
said
from the
Hangman only
beginning.
talks, they did not like that.
No, they were on his ass. And
Yeah.
I love it. I saw like a few people were concerned about Hangman potentially being like not the right guy to get the belt and would look a little bit small as a champion in comparison to some other people on the card.
Yeah.
And I feel like you know who I'm talking about.
I
But
do.
I was worried about that too because I thought in the last like 5 or 6 weeks of Kenny's title run since the Danielson match, I was like, ooh, Kenny is not in a great place on the card. They like I don't think they did a great job making him feel like the world champion. They prioritized guys like Danielson, Punk, Hangman at that point, Moxley. They were prioritizing other people on that card and kind of pushing Kenny to the back, especially since he was like not on TV for like 3 straight weeks. So I think that doing this at the very beginning of the show instead of waiting till the end or waiting till the middle, like AEW would probably do like in the past, where they would not
Mhm.
start out the show with it. I think it was a really good thing to let's have this kick off the show. Let's use Bryan, who has been our top thing on TV. He has been your top thing in the last probably month and a half. Has been Bryan Danielson. That's a really good feud because it elevates Hangman to be the main storyline of Dynamite because they've been like their main stories of Dynamite have been Bryan Danielson, in my opinion. I think they've been focusing on him more than anything else on Dynamite. So when you do that, you combine the two and you immediately elevate Hangman of the Belt back to that spot where it should be at on the show.
100%. And we don't have to go too much into the match because, like I said, it was just okay.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. It's a Danielson match. It's going to be good.
Yeah,
Danielson won with the triangle chokehold. Love it. I love that he uses different moves. Fantastic.
copy.
Yeah. Next up, we had MJF cutting a promo. They had him cut this like immediately after his match with Darby, and I thought that was an awesome little touch. Really good promo. His promo later was really good as well. We also had I really liked the segment backstage with Eddie Kingston 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, because Eddie Kingston's like, why are they calling you their son? Like, you don't think that's a little weird? And then Kingston was like, can I just get one damn word out without being fucking interrupted in this place?
Yeah.
I loved this little
He
like
was sad boy hours.
sad boy Eddie. I love Eddie Kingston. I love 2.0. I love Daniel Garcia. I'm excited for this match.
Facts. Anything with Eddie. I know we said that. I think Hangman is the top babyface in the business. Someone said to me it might be Eddie Kingston because he got people to boo CM Punk, which I mean CM
I
Punk's been on a love fest since he got
I think
here.
it's Eddie. I
So
think
I'm
it's Eddie
like,
Kingston.
I was like, you know what? That's not a bad point. I think that they're jockeying for position.
I think Eddie Kingston's one of the best baby faces right now in wrestling. Next up,
100%.
we had the Forbidden Door match between the Butcher and the Blade versus Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii. Tomohiro Ishii won the never openweight title off of Jay White at Battle of the Valley in San Jose this past weekend, which I still need to watch that show so I can watch Okada and Matthews. And I'm not gonna lie, not the biggest fan of this match in ring wise. I thought the in ring was like a little sloppy, and not sloppy in terms of not working correctly or having botches. More that it looked like something was just not clicking between these four guys. And I had that issue knowing how Ishii wrestles. I didn't think he would mesh great with these guys. And to me, at least, I did not think they meshed that well. But like I do want to see him and Butcher in a one-on-one because I think their styles mesh very well. I think Blade and Cassidy's are not as great, and there
Mhm.
definitely were some botches. Like on the
Yeah.
breakup, Ishii's breakup of that pin was like really bad. Did not look good at all. And those were the only issues. I thought some things just didn't translate great, but like I did have a fun time with the match. I was here to have fun. I thought it made Ishii look good, but like let's get Ishii versus Danielson on this next pay-per-view, please.
I agree with you. I wasn't expecting you to say that though, because I know you were really excited for this match. So they didn't I don't think that they this could have been way better than it was. Yeah, I thought it came off sloppy. This was the first time I've seen Ishii in the ring, and I don't think that he did come off good. Especially the ending spot when he hit the I think it was the brain buster, like kind of like the suplex. It seemed like he was slow and like that he was just kind of going through the motions. It also seemed like he was tired. Actually, throughout the whole match, it seemed like he was really, really tired and just kind of going through the motions. And it was sloppy. There was botches. So yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of this match either. But not necessarily to the point that I don't want to ever see Ishii again. I would like to see that one-on-one match with Butcher as well, just to see more of him because I felt like the spot where he was getting chopped in the corner and then he just turned his face. That was very good facial expression work because it didn't go from like blank expression. It went from no, I'm eating these shots and you're not hurting me, and it was intimidating. So I was like, that was good facial expression work. So there was stuff to like about this match, but I wasn't a big fan either.
Yeah, I feel I don't know how people thought about it because I wasn't really just checking Twitter throughout the night. Like I wasn't certain, like
I
beginning
don't know
segment,
either.
yeah, but I'm interested to see how people feel about this match. For me, wasn't my thing. I love Ishii though, and like I had fun. I had fun with it. I'll take it. I do want to see him in like a long form singles pay per view match because that's more of his style. I know he was a 6-man tag champ in New Japan fairly recently, but like I don't think he's great in tags.
Mm. Or maybe he needs his specific partners to mesh
Yeah,
with.
that could be part of it too. And I also do like he did also just have a match with Jay White. That was probably brutal. Like I would assume that was a
Wow, that can explain a lot. That can explain a lot.
Let's move on. We had a little promo backstage. Tony Schiavone was talking to Andrade El Idolo and FTR. I liked how Andrade got really pissed off at what Schiavone asked. He was like, y'all just lost. How do you feel? He was like, what is this crap? And I love how he says, like, I love how Andrade says Cody and Pac and challenges them to an 8-man tag. I am a little ready for this feud to be over.
I'd be annoyed at that question too. Imagine you're in like the playoffs and you lose, and the guy's just like, "So you just lost. How do you feel?"
I've seen that happen. Like, I don't know if you know,
Oh,
if you
really?
follow, I don't think you follow hockey at all, but John Tortorella, who was the former coach of the Blue Jackets, had gotten asked, like, what did you guys do wrong in this game? He was like, are you an idiot? We did
We
everything wrong.
lost.
He's like, we lost, Brooksy. He was like, Brooksy, you suck. The guy's name was Brooksy, the reporter. He hated Brooksy. But I don't want this to keep going. I'm kind of done with these feuds, but I know why they're doing it because FTR and Lucha Bros have a match in AAA in a few weeks. That's probably why they're continuing it.
I see. I think they're gonna do a winner takes all at some point.
Yeah, they do have to have that rubber match between Pac and Andrade still.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, we still have that rubber match coming. So I could see them. That's the point of it. I could also see that at the end of this feud, Cody aligns with Malachi.
Aligns with oh no, the fans are gonna shit
like,
all over that.
I think fans want him to be a heel though. Like we want him to be a heel.
Well, he would never be a heel. He might align with Malachi, but he won't be a quote unquote heel. They'll boo him, but
I don't know. We got a little promo from Britt Baker backstage talking about Jamie Hayter going into her match against Thunder Rosa next week. Yeah, Thunder Rosa's taking that title off of Britt at Full Gear or at Revolution, right?
I hope so.
Please.
I will say this: Britt Baker gave Tay Conti the best match of her career, apart from maybe the Serena Deeb match, which was very, very good. That's still one of my favorite women's matches. But like Britt Baker, for all intents and purposes, has been the best AEW Women's Champion, and I liked Sheeta's reign. I really loved Riho's reign. I still want to see more of Riho. I feel like I say that all the time. Where the fuck is Riho? I want to see more of Riho. But
Riho wrestled on Dark whenever I was at the Dark tapings.
Did that come out yet? That was a while ago, right?
Yeah, they came out a few weeks ago.
Copy. There we go. So yeah, I'm ready for it to be over just because I feel like she's done all she can do. But I really, really hope that she doesn't fade into obscurity after she loses the title. Britt Baker is a star.
Yeah, I mean, I got thoughts on the women's division. I'm not the biggest fan of what they've done with British champion, just because like I don't think they've given her a good feud. Like I think all the feuds have been just like a little bit weak. But Rosa is definitely like a feud that I think will probably be like a really good one for her going out on. And
Yeah.
I want like please give me an actual like Baker feud, not just
What
like
did
3
you
weeks.
think of the Ruby Soho feud?
The Ruby Soho
Well, that was
feud
a pretty quick one
good.
too.
It was good, but it was 2 weeks.
That was
Like
2 weeks.
every Brit feud is 2 weeks. She doesn't get longer than that for her feuds.
No, not
Like
really.
she had, I mean, I guess Nyla was like a month, but that feud sucked.
I was gonna say that one was the worst.
Yeah, you had the Nyla feud, and then you had the Red Velvet feud, which was about another 2 weeks. Then you had the Statlander feud, which was 2 weeks, and then you had the Ruby feud, which was 2 weeks, and then you had pretty much
Sheeta
nothing.
Feud, like when she won the title, the Sheeta feud was probably one of the best, if not the Thunder Rosa feud coming out.
Yeah, but that wasn't even that much of a feud. That was more like Britt's at the top of the division. Now she's fighting Sheeta.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I should be getting the title, but I guess I have to go through this ranking stuff, so I'm gonna climb my way to you. I thought that was a good way to have her win it.
That will be another topic we're going to talk about on the 10 count next week. Trying to devote those long form conversations to be on there where we can really get into it. Trying to make these shows just about AEW Dynamite so we can talk about what happened on these shows. And let's talk about what happened next. Talking about the women's division, Nyla Rose taking on Hikaru Shida in the TBS Women's Tournament quarterfinals. I love, all caps, that they are putting the women at the 9 o'clock hour. I think it's great that they're making this freaking tournament feel important by like just where they're putting it. They're giving them match time. They're giving them 2 segments that's not fully just in picture. I thought this was another really good match in the TBS Women's Tournament.
Yeah, Sheeta does no wrong. Before it was Cowboy shit, it was Sheeta shit. I am really, really happy that we get to see more of her on TV. I am surprised that they had Nyla win. I thought that they were gonna have Sheeta win. I gotta say, but
I was very confident Nyla was winning, just because of I thought
really,
they made the leg for a reason. I thought Deeb was going to interfere, so I'm not
well,
surprised
she
by that.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Vicky took a bump and she got hit with the kendo stick. That was nice to see.
Vicky still gets that heat, man. Like I
I
love how
want
like
to
just
hear. I want to hear her
few
on the
days
mic
after
more.
doing all those Eddies, a few days after doing all those Eddie spots, they have Vicky take a kendo stick.
Eddie would be proud.
Eddie would be proud, 100%. Damn right. Yeah, Nyla won with that stretch muffler, which I thought was really good that they had her win with that instead of the beast bomb. So you can sell that leg, and that's the reason why. And Deeb interfered, messed with the leg a little bit, but like Sheeta still got really close to winning. So it still like
She
put
did.
over Sheeta as being a very strong challenger. And man, this match against Deeb better be at a pay-per-view. And like I don't know how you can hold it off that long, but like it damn well better be at Revolution, and it better be a 16-minute Iron Woman match.
Well, it's like you said. How do you hold it off that long?
Now, I think they could do a 30-minute Iron Woman match somewhere because they did the 30-man. I do want it to be an Iron Woman match, 100%. I think that's the best option for this.
Yeah.
And they did that with Omega and Pac at Atlanta. And the way how they did it to not have anything be in commercials was to it was Atlanta. Might have been a different show. I don't know. But the way how they did that was they did after the fall, you had a 90-second break or whatever, 60, 90-second break, and they did your commercials during that spot. So I think you could do that again. I think that's a really good idea, actually, to do for them.
I'd see. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Let's go on to the next segment. We had a little Malachi Black promo talking about his the 8-man match. Always good. I love hearing Malachi talk. It's just I don't know why. I love his voice. I will listen to it all day. And then we had MJF come out and cuts a promo. He's doing his insulting thing. He talks about taking Adam Page's title, says he will send Adam Page's horse to the glue factory, and he will take a cowboy dump on him. I believe like something like taking a cowboy shit on him.
I'm gonna take a cowboy shit on his title reign.
Yeah. And then CM Punk comes out. And everyone on Twitter is like, oh my God, Punk and MJF. Oh my God.
And everyone in the arena did a holy shit chant.
Yeah. And MJF says, I'm Maxwell, reaches his hand out. Punk walks away and trolls us all and is smiling. Because he went to troll MJF. And then MJF was pissed. He was like, this is some bullshit. I love that so much.
What's funny is that everybody was like, holy shit, not because they were about to have a match, but because these are the 2 best talkers in the business. But one of them didn't even talk. He came out and he said nothing and he walked away. And so he's like, you'll get this another time, but not right now. So I thought that was a good tease when they have their feud.
100%. And I thought like they were going into that because we're in Chicago next week. And I was like, oh, Punk and MJF, main event in Chicago. I would rather see a long form feud, but hey, it makes sense. And I was like, and then they did that, and I was like, oh, it's a little surprising.
Did you see the MJF is better than Darby sign?
I did not see that, but
that guy was very aggressive holding that up.
Whoever that guy is, he's not wrong. MJF can beat Darby Allin with a side headlock.
And he did it. And he did. I like that AEW does that, by the way.
Such a good finish.
People like you got it was a story. And you gotta put people over, man. And I'm glad MJF. And Darby's still Darby. We love him.
Mm-hmm. All right. We had the Super Click backstage saying that they are embarrassed after their loss to the Jurassic Express. And we're going to see Adam Cole and Bobby Fish team up on Friday against Jurassic Express, I believe, right? It's them two, Jungle
Yeah,
Boy and
it's the dinosaur Luchasaurus. There we go.
yeah, it's Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, right? Yeah, no
Hmm.
Christian in this. Um, you
No,
know,
Marco
like
Stunt.
I'm just glad it's not the Bucks. I am ready to move on with this feud a little bit, but I'm mainly like I want to get the Bucks away because they've been feuding with the Bucks for a while. The Bucks and
Yeah.
Jurassic Express. I'm okay with doing another Adam Cole Jungle Boy match, like a singles match. Like I'm fine with one more, just because like the finish did not involve them, and that first match ended in a low blow. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with doing Adam Cole and Christian Cage in a singles match. Like as long as we're not seeing the Bucks in a match with Jurassic Express, like just have it be Adam Cole.
We've
Just
had
do Adam
enough of
Cole.
that.
Yeah, I don't need to see.
I don't know where you go with the Bucks from here. I gotta say, you can do like more tag matches against other tag teams, but I feel like we've seen them all.
I
We've even
wouldn't
seen
do
them in
any like
Private Party.
I would probably keep the Bucks like out of action for a few weeks. Like I don't think they need to be in action. Just tell the story of Adam Cole getting over as a singles guy while Kenny's gone, because I think that's the story they're gonna tell. And then you do the story whenever Kenny's back, where you figure out like what are the Bucks gonna do? Do they go with Adam or do they go with Kenny? I think like you don't like you can have the Bucks from time to time have some fun matches with people, but I don't think they're gonna. I think they're probably gonna take a few months off too and rest up.
I agree.
They're old. Like Matt's what 37, 38 now. Like Matt is old.
They're not young
And
Bucks anymore.
Nick is like Nick is 5 years younger, I think. Like Matt is like 37 or 38 at this point. Like they are old.
Yeah. Well, in
And
the grand
Kenny's
scheme
38.
of wrestling, that's not that old, but they've been in the game for so long, and I feel
It's
like they
because of
did
how
their
long they've been
job.
wrestling.
Exactly. And I feel like they did their job. They put over the Lucha Bros. Like they put over a team
Mm-hmm.
that's current, that a babyface team that fans want to see right now. They can take time off. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they're gonna do. Like, I think they'll probably I think that's why they're doing Bobby Fish. That way, Adam Cole has a guy in Fish. He might gain another guy in Kyle O'Reilly next month or whenever Kyle's contract
Yeah.
comes up. And I would not be against that either if like Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish come in and they just say, no, we're kicking you out, and they do Red Dragon versus Kenny and the Bucks. Like, I'd kind of rather prefer that than not Rushmore, I think. I don't know. I'm so conflicted because there's so many ways you can go. You can go
Yeah.
Red Dragon. You can go Mount Rushmore. Like, what do I want?
You can have Steen come in as a face and not even align himself with them.
I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. Like, I'm so
We'll see.
confused. So
But that's
confused.
great. But that's great.
I love
It's
it. I love
unpredictable.
it.
Yeah.
I love that I don't know what they're gonna do with people that like are not even in the company yet.
Bro, I remember this happened like multiple times. I think this even happened with
Mm-hmm.
Miro. They were doing the story before the guy was even like in the company yet. Like they don't play games. They don't mess around. They really
Yeah.
plan things out.
Well, I love how Bobby Fish was like, he goes, we're gonna take care of you, and that is, and he goes to put the undisputed era symbol up, and Nick is like, cut it, or Matt or Nick's like, cut it, we can't do it, no copyright. And he's like, wait,
Yeah,
what? Why can't we do it?
putting your hands up is copyright.
He's like, we can't do the undisputed. No, we can't do it.
Just like Brian can't do the yes chant
Yeah,
apparently.
I noticed Brian does this because he cannot do this, so he'll do this in his matches.
Well, he could. He just thinks he doesn't do it out of respect, I guess he says.
I don't think he can do it.
Yes.
I don't think he can do it. I think that's
Well, the
copyright.
crowd's gonna do it for him.
The crowd can do it. I don't think he
Yeah.
can. Because then they have a case for copywriting, I think.
Ooh.
But
That's a whole
I mean,
other rabbit hole. Yeah, that's a whole other rabbit
Yeah.
hole.
Like I said earlier, I was a little zoned out during the Acclaimed and Dante and Leo Rush. So I'm going to have you take the reins on this one. What are your thoughts on Dante Martin, Leo Rush taking on the Acclaimed?
Before I even get to the actual match, the Max Caster rap, he said that Dante Martin needs to put some bass in his voice as he squeaked through his rap and like this little pot calling the kettle black. This was my favorite match on the card, if not the main event, which I said before. I cannot wait for Leo Rush versus Darby Allin because the way they wrestle is similar and would mesh very well. Like when Leo Rush is doing his high flying spots and he's doing his kicks and he's running around the ring, he's moving like a madman. Like he's moving like a bullet. Like he's really trying to like when he jumps through the ropes and he hits you, it's like Darby Allin. Like he's trying to shoot himself out of a cannon like through you. And so I can like and I say it all the time, I'm a big Leo Rush fan. Also, Dante Martin, we know that he's very fun to watch. So they had great chemistry. I like the spot where the Acclaim were on their backs and Dante Martin he needed to get a hot tag, so he like leapfrogged from back to back to get to the other side of the ring, and then he was able to tag Leo, and then Leo came in and he hopped on one of the Acclaim's backs to do a move on the other one. It was a very fast-paced match. I remember telling someone on Facebook that it seemed like they were everywhere at once because of how fast-paced this match was. And I know that you said you weren't paying attention. This is the kind of match where if you weren't like zoned in, you had no idea what was going on. You were confused because they were like everywhere at once. And I like that kind of wrestling. I like it. I know that people like to call it like flippy shit. This was not only was it like uh I guess physically impressive, but the moves like they actually did look like they were hurting each other. It didn't look like a gymnastics competition. Like
Mhm.
this was tag team wrestling done right. This was probably I would like to see Leo and Dante like with the belts. I don't know when Darius comes back. Maybe they can do a a triple threat kind of thing where they get the if the AEW wheels out the three-man championship, which I think they will at one point. Leo Rush fits in really, really great with them. I like this, and he can talk
Mhm.
way
Yeah,
better than Dante and Darius can. So this is
100%.
great.
Leo is so good on the mic.
So good.
Fantastic promo. Yeah, I mean, I cannot wait to go back and watch this because I am a massive Leo Rush fan. I was one of those first, like, whenever he was doing the Bobby Lashley promos, I remember telling people, like, hey, go watch Leo Rush in the ring because he is good. He just
Yeah.
was never showcased. And he's getting to show off, like, what he can do until he gets into full, like, in a ring shape. I would not expect him to do, like, his absolute bangers that he was having at NXT because he was having some bangers with Angel Garza but he's been out of the ring for a while. So like that's probably why they're doing the tag
If that's
stuff. But
him rusty,
I
then
mean,
woo.
I know he's still fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot wait to watch this. So yeah, we got a Christian Cage and Jurassic Express backstage, and they accept Adam Cole and Bobby Fish's challenge. We get the rundown for Rampage matches and Dynamite next week, the Thanksgiving episode in Chicago. That was a thing that they're going to do every year. They didn't do it last year because of COVID, but they did it in 2019 because the Khans or Tony Khan is from Chicago, so he likes doing the Thanksgiving episode back in his home. Got a Lucha Bros promo talking about the 8-man tag. So we heard from pretty much everybody except like Pac and Cody, I'm pretty sure, for that.
Yeah.
And then we had the TNT Championship match. Jay Lethal taking on Sammy Guevara. Tony Nese, he was ringside again, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So Tony Nese again ringside. Don't know why he's still ringside for this. It's been like 5 weeks at this point. Like I don't even know at this point. Like it's been a while.
He was in the crowd, yeah.
He's been in the crowd so much.
Like, bro,
But
we
I
get
mean,
it.
look, this was like a great match. Like this was a banger. This was so good. Like this
Yeah.
was my match of the night, mainly because I didn't pay attention to the tag team match, but also because like
And
this
the
is more what I
Danielson match
like.
was mid.
Yeah, this is like more what I like rather like I love high flying matches, but when I'm looking for like what is my favorite match and what I think is like a great wrestling match rather than like a fun one, it's the in-ring psychology. And these guys had like for guys that I don't think had ever wrestled each other before, had great chemistry. Off the charts. They countered everything very well. All of their moves hit very crisp and they looked really good. That GTH at the end was probably the best GTH I have seen Sammy hit.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Very well landed. Lethal sold it great. I loved Lethal using the woo, which like you have the woo off with him and Ric Flair from back in TNA, like one of the most iconic moments in TNA history. So I liked that. There was a lot of like good stuff. As someone who I've not seen a lot of Lethal because I'm still new to wrestling, and I haven't watched any of his TNA stuff. This was a really good match for me to be like, oh, maybe I want to go watch some more Lethal, and I'm excited to see him in this company. And also, like, Sammy needs to just do this. Get the hell out. Like, American Top Team, no more. No more of that stuff. Like, thank God that's over, because I want to see Sammy every single week in these TNT open open challenge matches like Darby was doing. Just give him somebody every week, because man can go. Like, he can work.
Yes, and this was also a great spot for him because Lethal, I think that because I'm a fan of Jay Lethal, but I think that if you're not that familiar with him, you don't really know what to make of him. And so when you go into the match, especially because when they introduced him, they just interviewed him a little bit on the pay-per-view, and then now he's in the match. You don't really know what to make of him. And so that can leave the crowd sometimes confused on how to react to the match, like who to cheer and stuff like that. But they made it very clear, no, Sammy is the babyface because he is injured and he's playing the story of I'm a fighting champion who is going up against an opponent who I wasn't prepared for, but he's a new guy, he's a legend, and I'm just gonna go in there and I'm gonna fight forever, as the crowd would say. This was a very fight forever match. It was a great story for Sammy to be able to tell, especially because they didn't have a lot of time to tell a story with the match. Storyline behind the match, and so they do it in the match. I'm injured, I'm hurt, but I'm the champion. I'm the homegrown guy, and I'm young, and I'm just trying to show that I'm gonna fight forever, and I'm gonna get the win. This was a great match. Sammy can go. Jay Lethal for me is synonymous with TNA because when I first became a wrestling fan, um, I wasn't really searching for TNA. I was just kind of flipping through channels and it was there. And I was like, whoa, wrestling that's not WWE. What is this? And my appetite was there because I was like, you know, when you first become a wrestling fan and you just hyper consume everything and you're like looking for new stuff and like, wow, what is this? And I remember two people specifically stuck out to me, Jay Lethal and AJ Styles, who is also synonymous with TNA. And so and ever since then, like whenever Jay Lethal's doing anything, I always like to look at his matches and see what he's doing because he is very underrated. His
Mhm.
charisma is underrated. Like you said, the segment with Flair is like iconic in TNA history. That gimmick, the Black Machismo gimmick, everybody knows him for. I am excited to see what he's gonna do in AEW because Lethal deserves to be on somebody's TV. He's that talented. I know that there's controversy with him. I don't know a lot about it, but I did see a tweet where it was like, you can't say I'm doing this for women's wrestling and then hire Jay Lethal. I was like, oh shit, what happened? What did Jay Lethal do? So I guess we'll see more of that going forward because I don't think that people are going to give that a rest. Because when I did look on Twitter, a lot of people were kind of alluding to controversy. And I was like, I don't really know what that's about. I want to look more into that. From what I know, Jay Lethal's really talented. Until I guess I'll see what that's about. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I saw this as well. I had heard about it when people were like talking about, okay, who from ROH should go to AEW, and people talked about Lethal, said that there was some baggage there, a situation with Taylor
Uh-huh.
Hendricks. I am not educated on what happened, so
Me
I don't
neither.
think I'm in the right place to give my opinion. But
Yeah. So
uh,
none of us know. Sorry, guys.
yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm qualified to give an opinion on this. But if you do want to hear the sides, there's probably, I
Look
think
it
there are
up.
posts about this on Taylor Hendricks' Twitter. I would suggest going there. I am on the side of believe the victims.
I am as well.
Um, yeah,
I didn't Taylor Hendricks. I didn't know that. So yeah,
it was, yeah, Taylor
we'll
Hendricks. I
look it up.
think I think she follows
Maybe
me
in
on
the
Twitter.
future that'll be a topic for us if it really.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do a quick Twitter check just to see if like there's anything that like she posted recently. I do know she follows me on Twitter.
Nice.
Don't know why. I don't know how she ended up following me, but like I'm very proud of that. And yeah, like
Probably
I know she
was
posted saying she posted saying I appreciate you all. Thank you. 12:24, like which was about probably an hour after Lethal came out, and I believe that was in reference to people talking about like sending love to Taylor because of the Lethal signing. So again, like I'm not educated on it. I'm going to spend this week educating myself and getting a better
Same.
idea so I can talk about it. But for me, it's believe all women, like believe the victims.
Agreed. I am on the side of believe. That's also why I wanted to acknowledge that because I was saying a
Yeah,
lot of good stuff about Jay Lethal, and I didn't want to make it seem like I was minimizing or disregarding that controversy. I just genuinely didn't know about it, so it
yeah,
wasn't in my mind when I was watching. But I wanted to acknowledge that because, like you said, support victims.
yeah. I mean, we did like the wrestling world did a very good job, I think, last summer with getting like purging
Speaking out,
a lot of the people in the seeking out movement. There are still like some that need to be finished. Like Darby Allin's situation is still very heavy and out there in public, and I think there's still a lot to go with Darby and Lethal. There's a lot of other people in the business. Osprey, I love Osprey, but he's got some shit that they need to look at too. So yeah,
didn't know that
it's
either.
heavy.
Saw him live at
At
the House
Hog,
of Glory show. Yeah,
yeah. I The industry is changing for the better, 100%.
agreed.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, ending on that note,
On that
which
note,
I,
yeah.
like,
That's
and
a good note.
honestly,
That's a great note to end on, I think.
I'm genuinely fine with ending on that. I think it's important that
Yeah.
we talk about it because we all need to talk about it.
It was
It's
so prominent online. I had to address that. Yeah.
Yeah, and not even that it's online. Like if we don't talk about it, then it's just going to keep going on, and this needs to stop in the wrestling industry.
Amen.
Yeah. Well, I thought this was a really fun Dynamite. I need to go back and watch some of these matches when I'm not completely exhausted and running on like 6 hours of sleep. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a good time talking about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have we're gonna be dropping 2 episodes, the first 2 episodes of the 10 count tomorrow, Thursday. And I have a special guest for this week that will be releasing this upcoming weekend, the 3rd episode. So 3 episodes should all be online this weekend at the 10 count wrestling. I will have the link dropped down below to our Spotify where they will be uploaded. You can go over there, listen to it on Spotify. And on my 3rd episode, I will be joined by Captain Shakespeare Shay, my former co-host from Unpopular Review. She will be my guest this week. So thank you guys for joining us. From myself and Tamara, we will see y'all next week. Peace out.
Sayonara.